And a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, not Wayne's Road, but that'll work. Welcome.
Do this thing?
Yeah, no, well, let's try that.
5, 4, 3. This way.
Welcome to the Self-Reality Podcast. I'm Angie Hanlon, and I'm here to get real about reality. Today we have a recurring guest host, my brother, the co-host of the Dirty Glass Podcast, hilarious guy, great person, friend, Nick Hanlon.
Hi. I'm here to talk about Survivor. And if I was on Survivor, this is exactly what I'd wear. I think I'd wear a hat with a brim.
A full brim hat?
There'd
Yeah,
be a brim on my
yeah,
hat.
that'd be a good idea.
This shirt, pants that turn into shorts.
Like Michael Scott when he tries to do Survivor. Remember, he wears pants and
he cut his pants off and
then
then
he
duct
takes-
taped them.
Anyway,
Mine will be the zipper ones, I think.
and you should have a buff too.
Well, for this show, I'll try and
Yeah,
get my buff. I forgot.
you have-
I did see it recently. I just like in the last couple of weeks, but
All right.
you know my laundry room is not too long.
I do. Okay, well, so welcome, Nick. I'm super happy to have you back for What Are We Watching? What are we watching? What are we talking about today?
Survivor episode number deux. That's 2 for folks that don't know French. It's not just like something you say when you call somebody stupid, like duh. That's duh.
Season 47.
47.
All right.
Just forget that part.
I think it's important because there's 47 seasons, right? So, this
You should bring it up. I'm just saying I always forget.
All right. No problem.
There's so many.
So let's just
There's
dive.
more than I think.
Well,
Well, it's not 47 years, right? But
no, 24 years,
20,
47.
25 years.
So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So this one was heavy on tribe talk, right? Like there was a lot of just at the different tribes. They kind of start with Lavo, which was the big winners last week, if you recall, right? They kicked butt at all the challenges.
That's yellow?
No, pink. It's the pink,
Pink?
red,
Red, pink. Gotcha.
red, pink tribe. So essentially Rome, who I thought could be very interesting, turns out he's a little annoying.
Oh my God, he thinks he knows everything and can do everything better than you, your father, and your grandfather. And then he tries to do it and he's terrible at it.
Well,
That's the funniest part. I could be a professional rapper. And then he raps 2 words and forget. Oh, I forgot now.
Why don't we talk about the fire?
Oh my God, that was the first one. My record starting a fire is 1.6 seconds, or was it 6?
No, 60.
And then it seems like how they cut it up. They sat there for 2 hours. I don't know how long they sat there for.
They did a lot of editing, but I mean,
Them just like different positions.
but either way, I still think it took a long time. And what I actually,
Brag after.
yeah,
Set the fire, then fucking brag.
that's a good point.
Oh, I can start a fire 2 seconds. They just sit there for a fucking hour going, sorry. Sitting there for an hour, and it's just like, hello. It just makes you look pathetic, dude.
And then what I liked and what I'd like to point out actually was Kashan, the ER doctor. He's like, I'll give it one try.
And it seems like his was 16 seconds.
And his was like, I know. Actually, I should have timed it because of how they kind of built that, but it was interesting. And I like how they kind of cut to him saying, I just like to watch and sort of fly under the radar. And like, I think he's killing it because as a doctor, you would think he'd have more targets on his back already.
And also doctors are quite often big head.
Exactly.
Like more smart on the social side.
I like that guy. He's being very quiet. He's flying under the radar, but he's not like floating.
He's like how our doctor, Dr. Mark, would be.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Jumps in when he needs to.
So the other thing I found interesting about the Lavo tribe was like, again, Rome is very highly focused. Like they're highly focused on him in this episode because he's just so much. I'd like to make a side note.
He's dancing around and shit.
What? You're bored, but I mean, I actually thought Teeny was going to be a little like that.
Yeah, she thinks like she's got an annoying. I mean, we'll see.
Well, time will tell. Listen, early days. It's only day 3. But I thought Teeny, and I found it very interesting that it was her complaining about Rome.
Yeah.
That was like, what? And then, wasn't it weird, though, that he told her about finding the Beware?
Was he the one that... Yeah, I mean... And then she didn't like it.
No, because she doesn't like him.
She's like, this is the last guy I want to be attached to, and he's telling me everything. Well, that's what you get, teeny. You say everybody likes you. Well, that's a curse too sometimes.
Yeah, it's true. So I'd like to know from your perspective, because we kind of talked about this last week. Like, do you think it's a good idea to tell someone? Because I don't feel like he needed to tell anyone.
So I might jump ahead a little bit.
Okay.
For him, I think it was a stupid idea.
Okay.
Because I don't think, but he also doesn't realize that people find him annoying. He thinks he's like really cool.
Yeah.
Now,
he's unself-aware. He's not self-aware.
At this point, I might skip ahead a little bit. The other guy telling the girl, genius. Because he only had it for one vote. And he never brought that up. Remember the curly hair guy?
Oh, Gabe. Okay, so actually, it's funny. I asked this later. Good, you and I, we think similarly. So Gabe, but isn't Gabe the one who has it for 3? He's the one who got it for 3.
Didn't he use it?
So
I thought the guy who used it in the end was the one that only had it for 1. Was it 3?
No, he's the one who has it for 3. So that was that. At first, I thought it was stupid for him to use it in the first place.
Oh, it was very stupid.
At Tribal, sorry, that's spoiler alerts. I forgot, but it's a reaction video. So what do you want?
If you haven't seen the episode, don't watch.
Yeah. So Gabe, who did he tell? Now you're ahead. Yeah, you're way ahead. Okay, so Gabe
told Teeny. So Rome told Teeny.
Rome told Teeny. Gabe told.
I don't know what's up with everybody telling everybody everything.
But this is the conversation I wanted to have. So is it ever okay? So Gabe told somebody. Gabe told. Oh, he told Caroline to win her over. Thank you very much.
Yeah, because she was like, I've never talked to this guy before in my life. I don't know.
That was smart, and he actually won her over because I actually thought it wasn't that smart of her to be. Another question.
But he didn't bring up it's only good for 3 or whatever. That was smart.
This is where I think his strategy is coming into play, is that he's not mentioning that. So him using it at Tribal, I think, was unnecessary still because he can use it at 3 Tribals. So why would he? Oh, maybe he used it at Tribal to be like, hey, I don't have anything anymore.
I mean, that's kind of smart. I think I would have still held on to it.
And then I thought, well, why didn't he use it on Sue? But I suspect it's because he didn't want to show those cards, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think it was obvious.
I think, obviously, the way they cut it, we don't know. But I think he probably knew who was leaving.
Exactly.
Well, maybe he didn't. He used it on himself. So I'm not sure. But it seemed like he wasn't surprised. And when he used it on himself, it was pretty funny when TK was like, yeah.
I know, because
he's so cocky. Anyway,
so, yeah, we're way ahead. We're way ahead. But that's okay. So Rome,
I don't think Rome should have said anything. And he's the one who only had it for 1, right?
Yeah. So what a waste. He tells Teeny. Teeny basically said, everybody knows. Like, everybody tells everybody else. And it's just, she goes and tells, I think, Rachel. And then he goes and I'm thinking of the wrong tribe.
No, because that's what happened. What's his name? He went over right away to tell her because he knew that somebody was going to tell her.
Yes, it was a lot of I apologize.
That was very smart. That was smart.
So let's end Lavo tribe for now. So in the Lavo tribe, Rome tells Teeny. Teeny did tell someone, like her buddy. I can't remember who at this point. And then he was being annoying. He continues to be annoying. I don't think he has an awareness of that.
No, he thinks he's the coolest guy in the room.
Do you think you would be, like, if, let's say you were annoying people, do you think you'd be aware? If that's your personality?
No, I think if you're like that guy, you don't think you're annoying.
But
I do think he thinks he's annoying.
But you as you, let's say, do you think you would pick up the vibes? Like, or do you have an awareness that if you were annoying people just by being who you are, right? Because we can all be annoying to people. Do you think you would pick that up?
I'm pretty good at reading people.
Yeah.
I think I would.
I would know.
I would adjust a little bit. But I don't think I'm annoying like that. I think you got to get to know me before I'm annoying.
Preach.
I think by the time you like me, you're like, fart. This guy's annoying when I like him. Can't do anything now or whatever. Like, I don't think I'm not like that up front. Like, I feel like I would make some friends before I would annoy him.
Being annoying. Yeah.
I'm sure later on when I start getting hungry and grumpy, that will be the annoying part or whatever. Well, I have been fired for scaring waitresses in my time.
Okay.
I didn't yell at them really. I just yelled at.
But you're
most of 6'5", 300 plus pounds. And I was going to knock the restaurant over.
Anyway, but I'm just trying to sort of interlace. Like, how do you think you would react? You know what I mean?
I'm pretty good at reading.
Same here. I think I would at first probably scare / annoy people, but then I would win them over. with my personality. I think I'd be reverse of you.
I think it would be the opposite. I think I would like
Yeah.
they would like me at first, but then I'd have to apologize later for my act.
I don't always have the best first impressions, but that's okay. Okay, so Tuku tribe. So this is the whole
What color?
blue.
Okay.
So we got the Tuku tribe.
Tuku.
Tuku. So this is where we have TK.
Tuku time. Time to talk about Tuku time. Sorry, you can put a flash of
Nick
animation
Songs,
if you want.
All right.
Tuku time. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So TK, he's trying to build a tribe. So he's working with Kyle. Him and Kyle are bros, like, because he calls him bro 30,000 times when he's
That's the
talking.
kind of redneck looking guy.
Yes, well, he is a redneck.
Okay.
Like I'm not. I mean, he refers to himself as a country boy, and he so pretty sure.
Don't go mess with the country.
Yeah. Tuku, we're talking about Kyle. Yeah, he's from Michigan. He's a construction worker, 31 years old. What I will say is I like him. I think he seems actually very genuine, very level and reasonable. Again, early days, he could go wackadoodle,
Guy.
but he seems pretty level. But then they bring in Gabe, but they already don't trust Gabe because everyone knows that Gabe was looking for immunities, right? Which is why it was smart for Gabe to show that at
Like
the end.
really aggressively.
Yeah, too aggressively, in my opinion. But so instead they kind of say Gabe, yeah, but then they pull in Tiana, which is smart. But she's not digging on him. But anyway, so they kind of have this little bit of a tribe. Then we go to Gada. Okay, let's talk about the yellow tribe. The Andy wackadoodle.
Like them cheering like they did with his pumpkins. I don't know how. Not pumpkins. His I got Halloween on the mind with his stupid coconut breaking. Everybody like yay! Like they're cheering for him like he's a 6-year-old now.
But
because he complained openly about that, and now they're doing it, and he's all like happy. Like, how do you not know that's not facetious? How are you so brain dead, dude? That didn't seem
suspicious.
okay. That's enough.
Okay, I get it. Okay, you're cheering. You're on my side.
He loved it. He lapped it up like a little dog.
So
The guy is
he's got
decent work, man.
He's got some issues. And that's my question for you. Does he really believe them? But he does. And the thing is,
I think he does.
so, and I find it interesting because a lot of millennials are like, he loves words of affirmation, but Annika had the best line, I think, of the whole episode. And you want to know do you want to guess my line?
I don't know it. Go ahead.
When she refers to Andy, she's like, I've done a lot of online dating and met a lot of guys on there. And if I met him, what does he say? It's giving, it's giving toxic, clingy boyfriend vibes.
Holy.
It's true though. It's like, love me.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, but
He's
then,
a lapdog.
and then I feel bad for him though, because it's like, he's believing it. On the one hand, I'm like, dude, how can you believe them? But it's like,
How can you feel bad for him though?
I don't know. I have compassion.
Like he said it out in the open. Oh, they're not cheering for me when I do the coconut chopping, and then they're cheering for him like over the top. How does he not?
I know.
It's hard to feel bad for an idiot.
But he's an idiot. That's why I feel bad for him. So he's not even But do you know what it is? It's the fact that I feel at least most of them are being facetious about it, and he doesn't catch that.
Good job. That was a perfect job. Yay! Here's a gold star on your shirt. That's what it felt like.
I know. It breaks my heart that level of stupidity or unawareness, lack of awareness. It's just, anyway.
I don't know how they could cut it to make him look stupid. I think that's just him being
They
stupid.
couldn't. And then let's talk about the babysitting. I mean, they're literally babysitting him.
Yeah.
Sam is.
He's got the mentality of a 6-year-old.
It's concerning. My compassion is like there's something wrong.
I would have got rid of him first.
Well, so let's talk
But
about.
they're like, he's an easy vote. As long as you can keep him happy, he's going to vote your way.
But is he? Because now, look what happened. He leaves him alone for 5 seconds. He goes and finds the Beware Advantage, leaves it there, comes back. Okay. Then the rest of them go out and find what he left there. He goes back, sees it's gone.
Yeah, how do you not bury it somewhere? Like
That's what I had written. You bury it. You don't leave it in a place where you were easily able to find it.
yeah, because like if you leave it, you didn't accept it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's no, exactly. Well, that's what it says. If you take this, you have to go, like, this is yours. Like,
And now he's in like the most obvious, like it's this tent of branches. It's like a very obvious place
Yeah.
where something might be, in my opinion.
Yep.
It's a very landmarky spot,
mm-hmm.
and that's where you leave it.
So you just hide it. You bury it like in the same spot, just under, right? And then, oh
Like
my
trying to
God.
hide your TV in the corner and putting it in the corner in your living room. That's where it's gonna be.
Yeah, exactly. So that was super weird. I'm a little bit concerned though that Sam is gonna end up bromancing with him. I know he's fake bromancing right now, but after Andy discovered it was gone, he's like, it's the girls. And then Sam's like, oh, he's telling me, like he's letting me know. Maybe I can trust him.
So simple. Some of these people are so simple.
Well, here's the other thing that I'd like to point out. Is there a showmance going on between Sierra and Sam?
I actually like him.
You didn't like him last week.
Yeah, I thought he was a stupid jock, but he's got some
He's got some game.
he's got some brain on him that I didn't expect.
But I thought he had a girlfriend back. Like, they just seem, he's like, oh, Sierra's my number one. Sierra. I got to go tell her. I got to show her. I got to tell her. So it was like,
Maybe not. Then I don't know if he has a girlfriend back home. I don't remember if they said that. But he's just like kind of a muscular, charming guy. So it could seem like he's doing one thing and not doing that. I'm not sure.
But remember, you called him a male.
He seems like a male. Well, the first episode, he just seemed like this jockey male or guy.
But he
he had a lot of good, what I thought good moves in this last episode.
Yeah,
just
you're not wrong. I like him. I liked him more. And the fact that he's like putting on the acting job for Andy. So yeah, Andy was crazy. Then we moved back to Tuku where they're just kind of strategizing. Was this when they took the nap? I called something Napgate.
Oh yeah, when they all was that the nap with Sue?
Yeah, it was Sue, Caroline,
Where you got TK just
Tiana. Oh no, it was Tiana. It wasn't even Caroline. It was Tiana who's supposed to be with TK. So it's Tiana, Sue, TK, and Kyle. And Sue's saying like we were going to have a nap. We're all tired for an hour, and then TK's just like talking at Kyle for the whole time.
How many times can one man say?
Like he just kept.
Yo, bro, what's going on, bro? We got this thing, bro. Godzilla, bro.
And is that like a? Do you think that was the cut though?
I don't know. He said bro a lot. Even in like one sentence he said bro like 3 times, which means if you put that in the whole paragraph, it's 3 times a sentence is a lot.
And they're wondering why they're calling it a bromance.
Like those people that say, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's just there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I know what you mean, bro. Oh, is this a jock thing? Maybe I don't know.
So the bro thing, maybe it's a jock thing. And because they do keep saying like bromance, and maybe bro is more of the vernacular in the US. I don't know.
Maybe.
Like
a lot though.
Yeah, it is a lot.
So many bros. I've said bro in my day. I'm
No.
throwing a bro down, but not 17 times in 2 sentences.
Yeah, it's a lot. It might just be his vernacular.
And then you're trying to nap, and you got this idiot, this cocky asshole, just bro, and yelling. And he came down to have a nap, I thought.
Yeah, do you know what I would be interested to see, to be honest with you, is what the conversation was ahead of time. I find it interesting they didn't show that.
So maybe he didn't know they were napping.
That's what I mean. Like, how could it...
They could have also got up and moved down the beach and napped.
That's the next point. Why are you staying? Like, why did you stay?
But maybe they're just so pissed off. They're just like, oh, please stop.
Maybe he'll stop. Maybe he's going to lay down. Maybe he's going to take a nap now. So...
Although he seemed to have a lot of energy, so I don't... I mean, he's just so overly competitive that it's unhealthy.
Yes, and we will get to that actually once we talk about talk about the immunity challenge and tribal for sure. It felt long, this one. Like, spoiler alert, it wasn't my favorite episode.
It was a bit yawny.
It was kind of like that's why I think there was a heavy cut. Like, I almost feel bad for, say, the Romes and like TK's and even Andy, is that they're the ones who are a little annoying for different reasons. So there's a heavy emphasis on them right now. So
the drama.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see.
But you know one of those guys will go far.
Yes.
A couple of them will get out, and one of them will go far. Probably stupid Andy.
I think it'll be Andy.
I hate him so much.
I think it'll be Andy.
He had the most paper face I've ever seen in my life.
I know, just blank. It's scary. And there's, I was talking to Zippy actually. Like, she was like, maybe he has Tourette's or something. She thought. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but there's something, because she said he seems to have some tics. Because I noticed his blanks are very peculiar. Anyway, I don't know. There's something going on there. And by the way, yeah. Side note, I did try to look up like the psych evaluations. I wasn't able to deep dive that too much because they're not super open about it. Like, they all go through.
They probably can't
they go through psychological evaluations, but like I don't know the medication thing. I think they're not supposed to be on medication, and I did find it was season 42 where Jackson got pulled because he was on medication. So, and it was a mental health medication, I think. So anyway, I flashed that on the last episode. So let's see. So let's talk community challenge. Okay. Dear Lord, there were even more instructions than I think I've ever seen for this one.
I always blank out halfway through when there's this.
Well, I wrote it down. So,
Okay.
because I just was like, what? I rewound it and I wrote it down. And let's
So confused.
so swim in the ocean. They had to go to a tower.
It was interesting the people that were swimming when it was like 3 feet of water.
I know.
I don't know.
Huh.
Swimming faster or walking? I don't. Maybe
No,
faster. I
Might
don't
be faster. Grab a bag of rice. They got to shove the bag of rice through that little hole. Then they have to climb over. I'm just counting, right? Climb over the thing that they shoved it through. That sounds dirty. Yeah. And then they got to. Then someone has to kind of do a blind key through a maze to get the.
That was an interesting.
I don't think we've seen that one.
That before.
Then they open the rice. They have to retrieve a ball, and then they have to maneuver a ball through this maze with 3 people with wires.
I like the maze thing. Be a fun backyard thing.
With the ball, like 3 people on it. We would. I mean, yeah. So
It'd
that's
just be a fun game to play.
no. I would like it, but it was like
Very difficult.
it was intense. So nine things in one challenge. My question for you is: could you remember them all? Like, how do you?
I think I would just follow the crew. But I mean, when you're there, you're so hyper focused on what's going on. So maybe, but I don't think I'd be the leader. I also would not be the fastest. I think I'd be pretty good at the maze thing compared to some folks. But I don't know, man. It's really hard to put yourself in their shoes.
Nope.
So I'm sitting there watching TV. I got dogs and stuff, and then as soon as they get in the third instruction, it's like, oh, a dog. But when you're there, you're on an island in Fiji, and Jeff Probst is talking directly to you. So I probably would remember it, I think.
I wouldn't remember 9 things.
It'd be tough, but I'd be real focused.
But I think I would be like, okay, I would remember the first 2 things. Okay, we got to get the thing. And then you just come back this way, right? And Jeff screams at you if you mess up.
Oh, yeah.
You got to do this. You got to go, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's a lot.
The girl stealing the rice down?
Yeah, of course. So
It's one of my favorite parts.
I
That
loved
was
it.
the best part of the whole episode.
Yeah, I like Rachel. So, okay, but I do have the other thing that I found interesting, and maybe it's just because I'm biased against him because he's acting crazy. Did you notice how Andy stabbed the bag?
Oh my God, like a psychopath. Why don't you just hit it and saw? The guy was, I'm like, holy shit, this guy's a psychopath. What was that? Who does that? Did Jeff tell them to do that?
They had to. Well, okay, if you have a chance, go back and watch. So you have Andy doing it. So I'm like, I'm gonna watch the others to see if they do the same thing because Gada did get there first. Kyle did not do that. Kyle stabbed it, but like stab sawed. Oh my God! But Andy was just. And
even Jeff was uncomfortable. He's like, just rip the bag.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Interesting.
And also, yes, I think Rachel stealing the rice. Hey, why not? I mean, and Jeff even. Here's what I was afraid of, though. I thought they might get disqualified.
Well, yeah, I didn't. Because Denny was actually over, which is rare for Survivor. He was not into it, but he was over having a beer, and he was like, he didn't say you can't do that. I said, I think there's going to be repercussions if she takes that home. So there would definitely be some repercussions.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's somewhere in the rules that says it or whenever, but obviously he caught her, right? So.
Or one of the camera people, I think, probably saw it. Like
somebody saw something. He's like, "Did I see you do that?" I was like, "But they didn't say at the beginning of the challenge not to do that."
I know.
Right? That's the first time somebody's tried to do that.
Yeah, exactly. So that was good for her.
It's only on the second episode. They're already hungry.
You're starving. Yeah, think about it. I have to say, yay, Gada won. Right? Like,
what was that one?
That's the Yellow Tribe that got decimated last time.
Kind of like the underdog.
They really are. Lavo second, and they're kind of like the winners. You know, they're the tribe doing really well to me. Right? They're the ones to beat.
Well, you kind of thought this was like set up for the blue team because of TK. You think you've been a little more athletic to get them through, but
No, but it's the puzzles that always kill you, man. Like that puzzle at the end, TK, I feel, was the problem.
it wasn't even a puzzle. It was
Well, it's a
like a yard
maze,
thing.
but like TK he doesn't communicate. In my opinion, he doesn't
But it's
communicate
all about
well.
teamwork. Three people have to work in pretty good unison.
Like really good unison.
And I remember the ones that won, the 1-year-old was getting real frustrated, but because I don't think she's used to being bossed around.
Who, Annika?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I get her.
And you see how calm the jockey guy was?
Yeah, he was
You
good.
Then he's like, let's all
Stop.
calm down. Let's stop. Yeah. Like I thought he's the leader.
He is. And
He's
Annika,
turning into it anyway.
I relate to Annika because I have that instinct. I don't want to be told what to do.
Right.
But in that moment, you have to. You have to let go of your ego and work as a team. I don't think TK knows how to work as a team. So let's talk about it. So they lose, right? So, that's disappointing. The other teams leave. And what happens?
Everybody was kind of smiling uncomfortably, and then he gives a big speech about, I don't want to be on a team of losers. I don't want to be with people that mind losing. There's too many smiles on this team.
Yeah, and he just gave
everybody shit. But he doesn't realize that it was just as much his fault. Teamwork is teamwork, man. If the team loses, you lose too, and it's you too.
Well, and it's your only. What is it?
He doesn't. He in his mind it was everybody else's fault.
That's how it comes across. Because I feel like if he had have at least sort of taken any kind of accountability for his part in it as a member of the team, that would be fine. But he didn't. He was basically accusing everyone else.
The downfall of TK starts.
So his big speech, I think, was a huge problem, and I think that's going to lead.
Huge problem.
Yeah, again, no accountability. And then when they sort of, flip back to, so they have to go to tribal, obviously. So you flip back to them strategizing, and you essentially have TK doing the same thing and doing a big, when he's doing his interview, he's like, well, I'm just going to have to lead. I'm going to have to just get everyone to do what they have to do. It's like, that's not leadership.
I mean, yeah, he's trying to lead the team, but he's not good. I mean,
he's not displaying leadership qualities.
He's putting everybody down. I mean, it was ridiculous. And then when he got back to camp, same. He apologized, anything. He wouldn't take any blame.
Kyle talks to him.
At least try and pretend.
Well, and even Kyle's like, hey, I think T's a little upset. Everyone saw how upset Tiana was because she was the one Jeff asked about smiling. And then Kyle's like, hey, man, Kyle's more of a leader in my mind because he's able to sort of navigate different personalities. It's also about interpersonal relationships. You can't just some people would respond to his current form of leadership, right? They like to be told what to do, to be yelled at, to be whatever. And
well, if he was the coach of a team,
yeah,
the coach of a team can use that, but he's not.
He's not the coach. It's a game of strategy. It's not just athleticism. It's not just winning challenges. It's how you react.
All interpersonal.
Yeah,
you can be the worst at challenges. I mean, the one that won twice in a row, and I think she's still
Sandra?
only won.
Yeah,
Sandra too is the worst at challenges.
Admittedly.
The worst.
And you can't rely on challenges to get you through the game. It's got to be how you talk to people, how do you treat people.
About manipulation.
Yeah.
And a little bit of interpersonal, a little bit of manipulation.
So Kyle, who's the nicest guy giving him this feedback, he's like, well, he's getting mad. And he's like, okay, fine, I'll go talk to her and I'll apologize. It's the worst apology it wasn't even an apology. It was just
She
are you good? Are you good? We're good, right? I was just whatever, blah, 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 blah. I'm good. It's well, no. And that's what ended up being his demise because she was the swing vote.
Yeah.
You had Sue, Caroline, and Gabe on one side, and then you had Kyle, Tiana, and TK on the other.
And who was it that mentioned that she's going to vote with her emotions? One of the guys
said that Tiana was going to vote with her emotions.
Just the way she got all mad. She's like, I think we can get her to vote with her emotions instead of strategy. That is how she voted. Because really, you should have kept that guy for a couple.
I don't know. Okay, that's the
physicality.
So, spoiler alert, TK gets voted out. And here's what tells me we had a right read on him. He had no idea.
No, he didn't.
He had no idea. He thought he was playing. This is where Gabe has actually got some strength to him, right? Because they all thought they were playing Gabe.
Mm-hmm.
And Gabe, they had no idea Gabe was against them. They had no idea. Tiana They said she's gonna. So here's my question, and I think you've already answered it. You really think Tiana was emotional?
Yeah, she was pissed off.
I think maybe emotional, but I think there's some intuition there.
Maybe. I mean, how often do you see a guy that I know he wasn't great on the team puzzle thing, but he's a very athletic person.
Oh yeah,
To lose a very athletic person this early when it's all about team challenges is so rare.
Yeah.
So she might have some intuition, but she definitely had some emotion. She didn't like how she was treated, and I don't blame her. I mean, I would have been probably the same way. Like, get this guy out of here. I don't want to live with this guy anymore.
such an interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
That's a lot of it too. Do you want to just live with somebody?
He just kind of came at everybody. He was. It seemed like he was sort of like, "You guys all suck. You're, you know what I mean?" Almost calling everyone losers. And as you know, that feels shitty. Like, and that's reduced. That's bringing morale down. And I think that. Well, and how do you trust somebody like that? I think trust is part of it too.
Yeah.
And that
He's not going to change that attitude. That's just him.
had he been able to go back to the camp and change it there, like at least on the surface, he could have fixed it and he would still be there.
Chance, he blew it.
And
he has his pride. He doesn't realize this is a game.
you just put that aside. You got to suck it up. You got to here's how you got to suck it up. You got to apologize. You got to like just take your hits, man.
Vince
and just
McMahon's got a great quote. I know he's controversial right now, but sometimes you got to learn how to eat shit and like it.
Yeah.
And that's some people can't do that.
well, I think that's sometimes where age comes in.
Yeah.
Because Sue, so like, let's talk about Tribal. He was trying to bait Sue at Tribal, I feel like, you know, like, you don't talk to anyone. And Sue's just like, she said one comment, but he kept pushing her and she was quiet.
Like,
Okay. She was quiet, and that's smart. Sometimes you just shut your face.
sometimes you got to shoot. The talking's what gets people in trouble, that's for sure.
And that's why I thought, what a smart move. Because, like,
It's just making him look like he's bullying.
so then, you know, he gets voted out. The only one's more surprised than TK was Kyle.
Like, he was like, what?
So this might be so I'm curious to see what happens with Kyle, because I actually think he can recover from this if he doesn't freak out too much.
Yeah, we'll see how.
This is going to show who he is. This is going to show so for next week, I'm interested to see how Kyle responds. This is what I'm interested in for next week.
Yeah, because that first 5 minutes when they show them getting back to camp after the vote will tell how.
It's going to be very tough.
He's going to move forward in the whole game.
If Kyle can go back and be like, I understand why you did it. It was a really good move. And then sort of find some cracks, because I mean, Gabe's got like, I liked his strategy at first, but I don't like his whole, they're wounded birds and I'm going to protect the wounded bird. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, wasn't he like he wants to heal everything?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Well, and it's kind of,
I know people like that in relationships. I just want to fix them. Yeah.
I just want to protect the wounded birds, and that's only going to get you so far. Little condescending, right? Because I really don't think Sue and Caroline, I just think they're quieter. I don't think they're wounded birds.
So, I mean, this wounded stuff is really more trickery to him. Like, sure, they want to seem innocent, but I think they're a lot more shrewd.
I think Sue is actually more shrewd, and she's doing better than I thought. She's being quiet. Even when TK, okay, so if TK's sitting there flipping out, like talking when you're napping, it would take every ounce of my being not to say something.
I thought there was going to be a flip out.
Shut the STFU, you know what I mean?
I would have got up and moved, probably. At the same time, I did think she was going to flip out because she looked mad.
Can you imagine not sleeping for 3 days? You're 59 years old. Like, I'm 49. That would be exhausting. You're trying to nap for an hour.
There's another reason TK got voted. Like, the no self-awareness. Like,
No.
You don't look over and see people trying to sleep. No, I'll just sit here and yell at my bro and say bro 450 times in 2 minutes. Dear Lord. Anywho.
So anyway, let's rate it.
The episode, I give it a 4.5.
Out of 5?
Oh, we're doing it at a 5?
Yeah.
I'm going to give the last one.
You gave the last one 2.7.
Yeah.
Or 2.8. 2.7 or 2.8.
I'd say this one's like a 2.4. 2.3. 2.3.
2.3. All right. I'm giving it a 2.2.
Yeah, same. For the same.
2.
2.2.
It's very
It was a bit.
blah. You know, I think maybe the season's, hopefully it's just a slow burn season.
Well, for sure is. I mean, the new casts are such a risk. Sometimes they're great right at the start, but it's so hard to get to know people. it's like a brand new album that's a little different.
So I'm gonna,
Music,
yeah,
sometimes you gotta hear it a few times, slow burn,
Yeah.
and sometimes those are the best albums. I did like
That's
the Creed
true.
album for 2 years. That's like my favorite album for Weezer.
and for me, it's like when I watch Real Housewives, first season, especially first episode though.
Everybody's all like happy to be
Like-
there, and
Season 1, I'd say for every Real Housewives, season 1, episode 1, it's a yawner. Like it takes everything for me to get through it.
yeah, you gotta get into.
Because I don't know anyone. I don't know the relationships. Like nothing's been built yet. So like they've only known each other for 4 or 5 days now, right? So we'll give it some time. So anyway,
Sometimes you gotta crawl through a kilometer of shit before you see the sunshine. And when I say sunshine, I mean drama. That's Danny DeFrame.
I know it's from Shawshank. So
Redemption, watch it.
anyway, thank you, Nick, again for co-hosting and talking Survivor. Go check out the Dirty Glass podcast. Keep watching. Smash that like. Smash that subscribe button. Share all the good things. Let us know what you thought of the episode. What's your score? And we will see you for season episode 3.
Episode 3 next week.
Bye.
Bye.